So you knew Keyla there? You knew her already in Havana or not?
No, actually, no. It was very funny. I met Keyla when I was living in Holland, and I always, when I heard somebody speaking Spanish, or my ears went this. And then at some point there was a festival in The Hague, and I think she organized it. I don't remember how it was called, but it was a festival with Cuban music, and her father was also there, and I knew he was a well-known Cuban musicologist, so I went there, and there she was with this hair, and at that point I didn't talk to her. Gustavo was also there. I talked to Gustavo, and then later I was at the conservatory in The Hague, and she was also around, and I addressed her and said, "Hey, you're Cuban, right?" And that's how we met, actually. Yeah.
And did she write this piece with you in mind? Did she know in advance that you would be playing the violin or not?
Yes. I think she had me and also her brother, who also plays the violin. But I remember when there's this part where I have to play all these fast notes, and I was saying, "Keyla, what did you do to me?" And she said, "I wrote it because I know you. You know, I wrote it for you." So yeah.
And how many percentage in her work is Cuban, and what is like more European?
In Keyla's work?
Yes, in like for instance in this new piece.
Yeah, I find her work very Cuban and Latin American, very much actually. When there's so many things I recognize and I see, and it's a combination of the Cuban music and folklore, but also a kind of humor that she has, and you hear that back in the music. And of course there is a European component in the way it's elaborated, and it's very, in a way very sophisticated. She plays around in a bit European way with the Cuban forms, but it's very, very Cuban, I find. And Latin, I mean, she also, the studies of Pajarillo she did is of course more Venezuelan music, so yeah.
And playing behind a tap dancer like Max, is it different from playing like in an ensemble, or?
Well, it adds a very special thing to it, because you actually have an extra rhythm section. So for me, it's also a great, especially with this music, it's nice to have another rhythmical component, and then also a bit the theatrical storytelling effect of what he does when he moves, and it's something I like very much in music, the theatrical part of music. So it's great to have him there. Yeah.
So you met in Cuba already?
So we met in Cuba because we studied in the same school of music, of art in general, in Havana, in the capital, in the 80s. Yeah, and later on in the Higher Institute of Art in Havana as well. And from then, from those times, we have been working together quite frequently. Yeah.
And she wrote music specifically for you in the past?
Indeed, she wrote. She dedicated me one piece, and she wrote another piece for me, Nengon Transformation for piano. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how do you compare her recent work to the stuff that you just did before the intermission, like the more traditional Cuban music? Is she still completely Cuban, or is she became?
I think she. There are still common elements from her composing style of the past, but also developments and changing. I feel that she's more open to everything, new cultures, new sounds, she experiments more, and that I think enriches her style. Indeed, yeah.
And is there an element of improvisation or not at all?
Yes, there's an element of improvisation in this piece that we played. It's 90% everything written, even for the tap dancer. But there are parts that the violin and the clarinet improvises, as well as the tap dancer. Yeah.
And is it very different playing with a tap dancer or playing just like in a normal ensemble? Is it you have to follow him?
It's quite different, and actually it's the first time we do this. It's a new sound to our ears, live. But because almost everything is written, things go easier. See, we rehearse, and then we know exactly what do you have to do, where do you enter, when do you stop. We organize that in the rehearsals, and but it's very exciting because Max, the tap dancer, is something incredible. I like to call him the man of the 1,000 sounds. I love him. So Cuban. I mean, so far from his Austrian blood. Very, very much like. I'm Cuban. I know the street culture there, and it's amazing looking at that blonde guy with blue eyes moving and making those gestures and that complex rhythmical patterns. It's almost unreal.
So, how did you meet Keyla, and how did you get involved in the project?
I'm very happy to have met Keyla Orozco in Amsterdam. I am Dutch, but half American, and she is Cuban, and she moved to Holland. I'm happy for that because she is a very serious musician, a very serious composer, but a composer who makes her own new works from influences of Latin American music with so much joy. So her seriousness combined with the joy makes every note into a sparkle. And it's a joy to play as a musician because as a composer, she makes things very interesting for the listener and for the player. And it's a joy as a joyful human being because her music communicates and the seriousness and the intense joy and also the exploration that we have in life and in her music. So here's to Keyla Orozco. Come listen to her music whenever you can.